And we're back with another NBA Observations. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here for the Lakers Fast Break. If you like what you see and like what you hear, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when the latest NBA Observations or Lakers Fast Break shows come on the air for you on this channel right here. But it wouldn't be an NBA Observations without a great NBA observer. Indeed, it is the man behind the great channel I Got Next Sports Media. You know him, you love him, and right now, he needs a lot of love in his life right now.
I put that Hawks jacket on up for the night. It don't need to be out right now.
It is, of course, legend. Great to have you here. Could be worse. You could have done what one of the members of our group, our chat group, did to their television after the Lakers game yesterday. So, remember I told you, remember during the show, I specifically said, don't take it out on your TV. Somebody took it out on their TVs. Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. TV with too much money, I can't do that.
All right, fair enough. But yes, somebody just said, yeah, the TV had it coming to them. So I'll leave it at that. I won't say who did it, but I'll just say it's. But needless to say, it is, of course, the NBA playoffs going on. Legend right now and I are recording as the Hawks debacle against the New York Knicks, who will be moving on to the next round, is going on. Unless they somehow miraculously give up a 53-point lead, which I don't see them doing here in the second half. So with that said, let's just start off with them. What a disappointing way to go out. But I know that to a New York Knicks team who has its own flaws, it's got to be extra irritable that at home you weren't able to even make it close. So what is the future for the Hawks? What do you do as far as it's concerned? Because again, you have so many good things that have happened to the Hawks. They had the 13 game win streak. They brought over Jonathan Kuminga, and he was pretty good at production off the bench. But what direction do you go now with the Hawks? Because if you continue where you're at, I think tonight is a reminder of where you could be for a while to come if you stay this way.
They got to make some moves. Just continue to get better. I mean, I would say they did a nice job with what they did with the trade wise, getting Kuminga and all, and made nice moves in the summertime. They just got to continue to get better. This is not an outcome that a lot of us Hawks fans wants to see. And my God, I'm glad I didn't go to the game, because I would have got up at the second half saying, let me go back to my hotel. The game is over. Gonna get that room service because this is a wrap. But not the outcome we want to see. But I can at least say they building upon something, building around Jalen Johnson being the future star for the Atlanta Hawks. And, it is what it is. They lost. Not much that you can do at this point is other than put the water boy in the game, let 70 points he can score. He can't do no worse than what they did already. So, good season. Not the way we want to end it, but good season. Ended on a good note. Got 2 good games off the New York Knicks. Gave them some tough competition until, the last game in this one. But other than that, I'm still proud of them. Good season. Let's come back better next year. Make some moves, make some improvement, come back better.
We'll see what happens, indeed. But again, still a lot of decisions need to be made, especially after getting the thumping that they're getting right now on what direction Atlanta wants to go. They do have some young talent, but do they want to start looking at building a team or crafting a team or getting a quick fix? They're going to have to make some decisions, indeed, over the course of the summer. With this, though, victory by the New York Knicks, does it bode well for the Knicks as far as them realistically getting even higher where they were last season, or because at this time last year, Knicks mania was starting to run wild all over New York City. I still think that they have every chance to win it because with Boston doing what they're doing, and in fact, I won't even say what they're doing right now because it's subject to change. But with Boston, the insecurity there, what's going on with Cleveland, they did win, but they looked terrible on the road. There's every bit of possibility that despite all the things that have not looked so great with the Knicks this season, they still have a chance to end up in the NBA Finals.
They really do got a good chance because right now that's what I was doing on my phone just now. Boston's losing to the 76ers. This is what happens when you don't win your games on game 5. This is what happens.
Mhm.
Boston's gonna put themselves in a situation where one game gonna decide everything. And if I'm the New York Knicks, I'm on my knees right now saying, please, please let these boys go home. Let's get the 76ers and let's make the path to the NBA Finals wide open at this point. They got a really good chance to get there. This might be their best chance. Like Gerald, I'm telling you, if the Boston Celtics get knocked out, it ain't gonna get no easier than this to get to the finals. It can't get no better than this. Might be only one team left you got to worry about the most. That's probably gonna be the Cavaliers if they don't fall apart somewhere down the line too. So this is it. They got a path to get to the finals, especially if Boston were to lose and you don't have to worry about them. They got a path. But man, if you would have told me though Boston would be in this situation, I would have really been very surprised. This is very shocking. What's going on? Hmm.
Well, we'll see what happens as far as again Boston Philly. The game is not over yet. That is less than 50 points. So it's halftime. Boston's down by 9, but I'm not counting anything out as of yet. That they could really turn that around if they get on a hot streak from 3. So we'll see from there. And then Denver, Minnesota. Minnesota, we just found out has Io DeSumo out with a
Nice.
calf injury. That's just a killer.
Nice.
That's almost
That's it.
unfair.
Yeah, that's it. Too many injuries. I mean, that gotta hurt as a Minnesota fan to see that you could probably have beat the Denver Nuggets if everybody on your team that's key pieces didn't go down. At this point, Gerald, we probably can say, I mean, things can happen, but at this point, probably going to Game 7, and Denver probably gonna get out the series thanks to injuries. But even if Minnesota were to get out this, and you probably gonna get smoked by the San Antonio Spurs. So it's a lose-lose situation. But man, gotta feel for Minnesota. I gotta feel for them. All these injuries it's like it happened one by one by one at this point. That's what it looks like it happened. Every single game somebody went down. Yeah, man, this is wild. I haven't seen the team to lose this many people since the Golden State in that finals. Like, this is wild. Hmm. Unfortunate.
Unfortunate indeed. But unless there's a miraculous game by Nas Reed,
50
Julius
piece.
Randle, McDaniel ticks off everybody on the Denver Nuggets team and gets half of them thrown out, it's going to be very hard for them to go ahead and get that victory later tonight. But we will see. But let's turn to the other series that are active right now. Orlando and Detroit. That is heading. That's actually for a Friday game, and that one is going to be
Mm,
very interesting
it
because
is.
they just found out Franz Wagner for Game 6 is not available.
Mm,
So that's at
Easy
home.
7.
Yeah. So could Detroit? I think it still will go 7 games. I think that Detroit will get the momentum in their favor now. But yeah, not having one of your key core pieces for Orlando in Game 6.
Yeah, that one's pretty rough. That's hard. Just about like Minnesota losing the key piece that you need just to finish out Detroit Pistons, and losing him could just about solidify we're gonna get a Game 7, winner takes all situation. But it is pretty much unfortunate how a lot of these injuries are just plaguing the playoffs right now. It looked like the injury bug is just active in this playoff. It looks like, and it's just unfortunate for him. Who knows? Though the Magic might can still pull it out. Hard to say, but I get the feeling this is probably going 7. This is going to be another 7 game series. You might have a lot of 7 game series. It looks like this first round.
True indeed. And it's hopefully one of them will not be the Lakers, but we'll find out on Friday. With that, you and I talked at length on the post game show about the problems. It's the Lakers offense just didn't click. It just did not look like the Lakers had the sense of urgency to win and finish this off as low as you would have liked to have seen it. So with that, it is now making the odds of any kind of challenge against OKC that will start next week seemingly less and less for either team, whoever ends up going to the next round.
Yeah, that's one of the things I mentioned in the chat. I'm like, at this point, whoever be the winner, they're gonna be exhausted. You would have gave everything you got just to get out this series, and you're going against a well rested Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, I already felt like they're probably gonna win that series, but now I'm like, it's gonna be a short series. It might be a 4 game series if possible, because the winner gonna be so exhausted. You gave up so much energy just to get out that series. So I mean, this series went a lot longer than a lot longer than what we were thinking after we saw them go up 3-0. But they just got to give the Houston Rockets credit. They made adjustments and they've been fighting with heart. Refused to go home, and you got to give them that much credit. I'm not gonna lie though, Gerald. I get the feeling this is a Game 7 situation. Though it feels like that's where it's headed towards. It looking like we might be heading toward LA on Sunday and let the chips fall the way they fall. It is just a good feeling, kind of like how the Orlando series looks. It's a feeling. Maybe you guys take care of business on tomorrow night and be like, you ain't got to worry about Game 7. But it does give that vibes that this might be headed toward that direction. One game settles everything. And I know for a fact, if it goes to Game 7, LeBron James is going to show up. I just know he's not going to let the world just rip him to shreds about blowing a 3-0 lead. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow night. Hopefully nobody
It,
else
it
won't miss their
okay.
TV.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah. I've warned them already. If they want to go ahead and destroy their TV, they're on their own, my friend. But I will just say this again: the Lakers have made their own bed,
Yeah.
and we'll see if they lie in it or they go ahead and rise above it. And I think that they're going to show more urgency. I think they took it for granted what was going to happen on Wednesday, and they just never found a flow until it was too late, and that's on them. And it's already been told that Kevin Durant is going to be out for Game 6. Some people are applauding that because they think that the Houston Rockets play better without Kevin Durant. I don't know what that says for the team or for their fans or whoever's saying that. Again, you're losing 25 points, 27 points a game, and one of the greatest scorers in the history of basketball. But you're saying he's just an enigma, or, for lack of a better term, cancer on that team. You think the team plays better without him than with him. We'll see. We'll see if you can continue. If Houston can continue to generate the kind of offense without him, then fine. Yes, you know what? They do play better without him. But if they go and pull up an 85 tomorrow against the Lakers, maybe that was just a little bit presumptuous on their part.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot too on the internet about people think they are better without Kevin Durant. I'm kind of back and forth on it. I think you still need him because he can close games, especially when it gets tight. But at the same time, I can admit that they do look more fluid, more flowing without Kevin Durant being on the court. But I feel like you still need him at the most part. So I still think it's kind of a stretch to say you don't need him because you still do. But it is making an argument right now that these boys look pretty good without him. Even if he was healthy, I'm not gonna lie, Gerald. I might would say let these boys play this series out. They don't got this far. Let them play it out. See what they can do. See if they can force a Game 7. But it is interesting seeing how they look without Kevin Durant and how they been the last two games now. So we're gonna see what game five is gonna show us tomorrow and see if the Lakers are gonna close this thing out or we finna get ready to get our popcorns out for game seven and see either either history finna happen or LA finna make it to the next round.
Once again, it's Legend from I Got Next Sports Media, along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. I wanted to go ahead and also mention, of course, the final series that's still ongoing, and that's the Cavaliers and Raptors. It'll be taking place on Friday as well. On the road in the Great White North for Game 6. I'm telling you, as I said, I think last night or the other day, that this is a series that home team wins. Unless you prove
Mm-hmm.
me otherwise, it just looks like both teams play so much better on their home court. Toronto kind of almost got me to that point where I thought they might be able to sneak one by, but they let go of the string late in the third quarter, and their lead went bye soon after that in Cleveland on Game 5. But Game 6 is in Toronto. Cleveland has done nothing to convince me that they're going to go ahead and play better in Toronto. And they've got veterans. This is not a young team in Cleveland. That's the thing. All those guys in that starting lineup, all those guys in rotation have played many years in the league. There should be no reason why tomorrow they don't go out and do what New York is doing to Atlanta right now. Yet I just don't have the entire feeling. And right now, the spread is still in Cleveland's favor. And I still think that I think the odds are not the way they should be going. I think that again, this is a home team series, and I still think Toronto's looking good right now for Game 6.
I agree. I think the odds is a little bit, sketchy. This game, like, it can go either way. This to me looked like a series that is headed toward game seven as well. So I don't think Cleveland will close this out tomorrow. I think this is gonna go to seven, but we will see. Here's the thing though, Gerald. A lot of people don't realize James Harden usually play like cheeks in game six and seven. He usually disappears. That's when it usually happens. So if they're gonna close it out tomorrow, James Harden gonna have to be the opposite of what he had been the last couple of years. He has to show up. We can't have a we can't be having an MIA lookout trying to find where he went. Did he come to the game? Did he forget they got a ball game today? He has to show up, and he got to show up big. You need 20 plus from him, 20 plus from Donovan Mitchell. If Cleveland's gonna close out Toronto Raptors tomorrow, otherwise that young Raptors team led by Barnes, they're gonna be forcing the game seven, and we're gonna be looking at Cleveland on Sunday night playing for their season. So we're gonna see how this goes, but I think that's a game seven series.
We'll see what happens with the series, but if you have any thoughts, please mention to us below right there in the comments. We'd love to always hear from you. But again, it is Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. Always great to have him here. A couple notes from the world of the NBA before we head on out. Just wanted to go ahead and hear your thoughts on the new draft
Ooh.
proposal by the
Mm.
league. This 3-2-1 proposal as far as how many ping pong balls, lottery balls, whatever you're going to get as far as it's concerned, depending on where you're at starting in the 2027 season. It seems like it's the proposal that's going to be pitched for approval after all the different scenarios that have already come up as far as it's concerned. Your thoughts on it? I want to go ahead and let me go and bring this up as far as the exact wording of it from Sham Sharania, how it was proposed. See if I can go ahead and read up on it where I had it. It is the 3-2-1 proposal. Let me go ahead and read it out loud. Okay, here we go. It would expand the lottery from 14 to 16 teams. Teams that do not qualify for the playoffs or play-in tournament but stay out of the relegation zone, spots 4 through 10, would receive 3 lottery balls each. Teams with the bottom 3 record, the relegation zone, would have just 2 lottery balls, but they have the floor or ceiling, however you want to look at it, of going no farther below the 12th pick, while the rest
Mm.
of the 13 lottery teams could fall as far as 16. The ninth and 10th play-in seeds in each conference get 2 lottery balls, while the losers of the 7-8 playing games receive 1 lottery ball each. In addition, no team would be able to win the top pick in consecutive years or be able to win the three or be able to win 3 consecutive top 5 picks. Teams also would not be able to protect picks in the 12 to 15 slots going forward. That's the one that part I don't like as far as the 12 protect picks 12 to 15. I guess that's just so that they could just try and uh, foil some shenanigans because
Mm.
that's what this whole is all about. Foiling shenanigans of tanking. When you take a closer look at it, Legend, is it something that's going to, in your mind, reduce tanking? Yeah, I mean, let's say there's a talented year, not this upcoming year in 27, but let's say 2028 is loaded once again, like this upcoming draft. Do you see it preventing this rule preventing a bad product in February, March, and early April?
It might make some of these teams try a little harder just because your odds of getting the most ping balls is not great. But the part what I don't like about the rule was kind of messed up a little is what have happened is the team is just generally they just trash. They just suck. And they can't get better because you basically rigged the system to where the middle teams are gonna be have better odds. So I get what they're trying to do, but I think they could have tweaked this a little bit more. It looked kind of weird that some play-in teams can get a lottery pick, and some teams got better odds than the worst teams. That's kind of odd, especially if the team is actually bad. But the part I will say I do like about it is you can get the number one pick back to back to back. So that's okay to me. That's not bad. And maybe it's kind of good too that you kind of don't have that many protected picks. So that ain't too bad. But the part where if you were actual a bad team and you only get one ping ball, that's kind of not fair. So that part needs to be tweaked a little bit. But I get what they're trying to do. So it's like some things are good, something needs some tweaking. But I get what they're trying to do. Is it the best, anti-tanking rule? Not really. But I guess it's a start. Hopefully they'll continue to tweak it and kind of fix it and make it better.
We'll see what happens, my friend. But I just wanted to go ahead and run that by you on as far as your thoughts on the uh, 3-2-1 proposal for whatever they call it. So we'll wait and see, my friend. But again, it's great to have you here, Legend. Before we head on out, though, some of the awards are being handed out. I know that Executive of the Year was handed out. Your guy in Atlanta actually was second, which was kind of weird considering you know, he got the Kaminga trade.
Yep.
He did some good things, but he also gave up Kennard for a song, which I think, I don't know, but
Yeah.
he was number two. He's number two. Rob Palinka got one third place vote. That set him. You
You
know,
got something.
got something. But out of the 100 voters that were voting, but before we head on out, I wanted to go ahead and hear your thoughts on Brad Stevens winning the Executive of the Year. We do not like the Celtics on this channel for obvious reasons, but we do have a respect for them in the fact that you know seemingly they make a lot of right decisions. When you have a organization that continues to make a lot of right decisions, it just leaves open the possibility of you being a contender year in, year out, even when you're not expected to be, like this year for Boston.
You're right about that. And I can't understand why they gave him that award. They're looking at the fact how they didn't have Jason Tatum at the beginning of the season, and they still managed to win almost 60 plus games. So they had a pretty good doing year this year. And they're just looking at the fact that they stayed afloat the entire season until Jason Tatum got back. So I can understand why they applauded them, and they also probably gave him this award for a lot of the trades that he made when he had to come off some contracts. You know, Porzingis and a lot of the others. He had to come out those contracts, and he did a pretty good job retooling with cheaper pieces on that roster. So I get why they gave it to him. Not gonna lie, I kind of thought it might would have went to like the Thunders or the Spurs organization or something. Maybe more the Spurs, because they really flipped it around so good, or maybe even Detroit. But I can understand why they gave it to the Celtics though.
So with that, it is of course the Lakers fast break. It is NBA observations. For those that are watching this, know that we will be back for the post game after Game 6 between the Lakers and Houston. But before we head on out, I wanted to go ahead and make sure you know that he, meaning Legend, hosts a great channel with a lot of stuff going on always at I Got Next Sports Media. So before we head on out, what are you looking to cover in the coming days, health willing, in regards to I Got Next Sports Media?
I'm hoping to talk about a little bit of the NBA playoffs, maybe tomorrow when I get off work, so then talk about that wise. Maybe do like a hour long stream and just talk about how the playoffs are rolling out. And then I'm looking at doing a video for the WNBA, talking about Flajay Johnson impact for the Seattle Storm starting off, and also talking about Angel Reese's debut with my Atlanta Dreams. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of in between that, and then get my thoughts on the NCAA, basically going the college football bowl route with all the different teams. I don't know why they did. I don't know why they did
It's well, we know why. We know why. It just,
that.
I
Oh
just wish they
man,
would be honest and just say, you know what, we want more money.
yeah.
We
Let's
want
just
more
be
money.
honest. Yeah,
We want more money. Just all we want. Just we
it's
want.
basically college football 2.0.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. So it's just, it's crazy. Again, I can't wait to see all the 15 and 15 teams go into the, as far as matching up, as far as is concerned, against the number one seed. Yeah, that'll be competitive. All right, but all right, or whatever they do with the final four or final two that'll get in. However, they're going to make it as far as it's concerned. But obviously, the with their current system, with those play-in games that happen like on Tuesday and Wednesday of the week of March Madness, I think they're trying to build that end up. I think they're trying to build that end of it up to make it even more inclusive and more exciting, because for some reason they must have liked what they saw with those play-in games in order to go ahead and make it even a larger field for the NCAA tournament.
That's what I'm thinking too. They had to see something they like, and everybody in the world loved the March Madness tournament. Everybody loves it. That's when most people are watching college basketball. Everybody doing their brackets. Everybody enjoying the unexpected upsets and all. And they probably saw the uptick on a lot of the viewership when coming toward March Madness, and they decided, hey, people love March Madness. Let's add a couple more games, and who knows? Maybe these smaller mid-major conferences, they might get two teams in there now. Who knows? But it definitely got to be about money. They saw something they like, and they looking at that. Hey, let's make some money. Look at how the bowl game do in college football. Let's do the same thing. Let's make some money. People will pay to watch number one blow out the 15, or maybe 15 get lucky and get upset. You never know. But they had to saw something during the tournament to make the decision come. But that made me think though, Gerald, if NCAA was willing to do this, I wouldn't be surprised if 2014 college football comes.
I told you they should just do that. They should just use the bowl system as the first round of the playoffs and just expand the playoff, because there's enough decent teams in, I mean, the in the college football, there's when you look at the poll, all those are winning teams. To be in the top 25 of college football, you have to be a winning team in order to go ahead and be considered on a week to week basis. So you've got winning teams. I'm just saying, instead of the Bermuda Bowl or the Jimmy Kimmel Toilet Bowl on in LA or whatever they do, all these lame bowls against with teams that are 7-7 versus a team that's 5-5 or whatever. These horrible bowls that nobody watches. Instead, do it as a first round matchup, as like Alabama versus whoever finished 30th, and that would be still a winning team. 30th out of 120 NCAA football teams. It's money. It's more
Right.
highlight. It's more eyes on your product on these early bowls, and just say, that's what you can use instead. That's what you can do instead. Just shorten the season up by 1 or 2 games, increase the amount of playoffs, make integrated into the bowl system, and there you go. It's right there. It's right there.
Yeah, it's
More
right there.
money. More money.
You still get the money. You ain't lost nothing. Might
And
get a
those
little bit.
and those teams that are 5-6 or 6-6 going into the bowl season, those teams won't even be involved because they don't deserve to really be involved. I'm sorry to all those kids, but when you've got a 500 team or just barely above or whatnot, you don't deserve to get a true bowl shot. It's just that simple. I don't care which school it is. I don't care where it is. It's just you're not that good and you don't deserve to be, sent to a
Mhm.
location and play in front of another crowd for that. You don't. Good teams should always face good teams. And I think again, the tournament format is a start for the college football, but they need to expand it and they need to involve the bowl games with it and just use it from there. And there you go. But that's
Hey,
just
solve a lot of problems.
yeah, it solves a lot of problems indeed. And of course, they would end up getting more money because of it, the
Yep.
NCAA in the long run. Indeed.
People don't mind watching that.
Yeah, first round matchup between, let's say, Alabama or let's say Ohio State and let's just say Hawaii. Hawaii has a good season. They're like, or no, UNLV. My UNLV here in Las Vegas. They won 10 games. They finished right around, the top 30 in the country as far as in voting. Do that right there. Ohio State versus UNLV. Two winning teams playing against each other in the first round in one of those mid-December bowl games, and go from there. And it's money. It's more entertaining and better to watch than what we're seeing right now. But that's just me.
Definitely.
But if you want more, go ahead and check out Legends I Got Next Sports Media on YouTube and make sure you like and subscribe there as well. Well, Legend, we provided some NBA observations, although your observations on Atlanta probably hurt your eyes just now. Any
Yeah.
last thoughts before we head on out?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut that off. I see enough.
Well, at
I
least you're
can't. I
not
can't.
wrecking the TV. Yes.
Nah, I won't. I can't wreck this beautiful TV. I can't touch that. But
Okay.
what I will say is, good NBA playoff might get a lot of game sevens this weekend. We might see a lot of them. So playoff is definitely becoming interesting, and then we will see. But I just want to say this too before we wrap it up. Feel really bad for Minnesota. I feel really bad for how things turned out for them. It's gonna be a. It ain't their fault that their season ends.
You and I both, my friend. You and I both. But once again, check out Legend from I Got Next Sports Media and make sure you stop on by for the post game for game 6. I'm hoping Legend will be wrong about a game 7 for the Lakers, but we'll find out and see. Thanks so much again for watching, and always be here for when we give you the lowdown of what's going on with all of our great Lakers shows and, of course, the best in NBA observations.